Today we're going to talk about Donald Trump.
Do we really have to?
Yeah, we do.
I don't know. Welcome to the Progressive Cast. I'm Alex.
I'm Colin.
And yeah, this country's over. It's begun.
Yep, someone play the Undertaker opening it music.
We got a lot of stuff about Trump to bring you, and we apologize for just how terrible this is going to sound.
It's not all terrible.
There's two things that aren't very terrible.
I don't know. I mean,
maybe three.
Maybe three.
Well, we'll see how it goes. So it's officially almost the end of Donald Trump's 5th day in office, knowing he's a 9-to-5 businessman. He's been out for about 3 hours now.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
And in these last
he's also like 95, right? So
95, I thought it was like 127. Dude's old.
312, final
offer. Yeah, and in these last 5 days, we're just gonna roll into it. Donald Trump has made a lot of things worse.
He's not messing around with this whole "Make America Fucked Again."
Yeah, he's signed, I think it's 12-ish executive orders now. I don't really know the number, but he's done more.
In the time we've been talking about it, he signed another one.
I'm sure. If he hasn't been holding his phone to tweet through official government Twitter accounts now, that just sounds terrible.
You know, I forget where it was. It was like Stephen Colbert or Trevor Noah or one of the big like late night show hosts pointed out Donald Trump officially has the ability to text every American citizen.
Oh.
And we can't turn it off.
Oh no.
So I don't know if he's going to take advantage of that, but he has that capability, and it's kind of...
What is it? Is it through the emergency notification services?
Yeah. But he can just do it.
So, yeah, look for that in your...
you can turn off, Amber Alerts. You can turn off all that. You cannot turn off alerts from the president.
I didn't even know that the president had the ability to send alerts like that. I was not aware.
Yeah, they do. I don't know why that's a thing, but that's a thing. Probably in case a national emergency or something. But
it's what happens when you have a surveillance state. They can look at your phone, so why wouldn't they just be able to text it too? They already know the number.
Yep.
We are going to get off topic, and we are 2 minutes and 39 seconds in. So yeah,
it's all right. People don't watch this long.
It's true. And by the way, did you want to thank our one subscriber?
Yes. This episode is dedicated to Ravenhead, the one subscriber that's not us.
Yeah. Our channel currently has 4 subscribers, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
Me, you, your fiance.
Yep.
And Ravenhead.
So, thank you to Ravenhead. I'm probably going to cut this and put it at the beginning of it.
That works. They're not going to hear the part where we talk about the editing anyway.
That's all right.
So, if Donald Trump hasn't been tweeting outrageous things, he's been signing executive orders. First and foremost, before we talk about those executive orders, if you look at the pictures or the videos of Trump signing executive orders, it honestly thoroughly looks like he is just a figurehead. People are just putting papers in front of him. He's idly flipping through them and then signing them.
It says ban abortion. Sign it.
Wait, the TPP involves China?
China. We
should get rid of the TPP because they cause global warming.
Yeah, I mean, it's not because, there's a country in there that tolerates slavery or there's a actual Sharia state in there. No, it's because China.
How do you tolerate, what's your, what political position do you have to tolerate anything? Is it, illegal, yet it's still happening and the government's like, well, what are we supposed to do? They own the slaves.
I don't know. I think the political party of the people who tolerate slavery is just
which country is that?
I don't give a shit crats or something like.
What country was that? The country
started
with an M. I thought.
Yeah,
I
it starts with an M.
I don't want to say any countries though, and falsely accuse anybody of tolerating slavery.
Just fill time while I type.
Yeah. So I'm filling time while Colin types, and this is how I fill time because
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
It's Malaysia.
I thought it might have been Malaysia. So, yeah, in the TPP, which
I'm taking a international politics course right now, so I've been hearing all sorts of countries that start with M. So I was
and I mean, I just have a scrambled brain that almost never works. So yeah, Trump's been signing all sorts of executive orders. Almost all of them are ridiculously terrible. First one that I want to talk about, we're going to push forward with the Keystone and the Dakota Access Pipeline. Why?
Initial reactions. Fuck.
I think it's important to note, though, why Donald Trump is bringing these back.
It might have something to do with the fact that everyone around him is a climate change denier, and also he has financial interests.
I think it's that second thing more than anything else. Donald Trump invested in these pipelines.
Yeah, pretty heavily. In fact, it was. It's not great. He owns Energy Transfer Partners. Like, he owned a large stock in them, 30% or something. And rumor has it he divested from them, except for like $50,000, which still. Why did he keep $50,000 to him? That's like nothing apparently. But he also owns like 25% of another. He owns a large stock in another company that owns 25% of the Keystone DAPL, Dakota Access. Man, I am flubbing my words all over.
Okay, Ryan Haywood.
Yep. I'll take the mantle of Mad King.
But yeah, so this is, I don't even think to the people that we talk to every day, we even have to discuss why this is terrible, horrible, no good, and very bad. But in case you don't understand, Dakota Access is going through sovereign Indian territory.
3 of my professors through the last two semesters have been doing active research on the environment and climate change.
Yeah, I mean, climate change, it's not something that's going to be taken into consideration by this organization at all, in my opinion.
Until the average temperatures in New York in the winter is like 78 degrees.
No, because then they're going to praise climate change as making it really livable in the upper Northwest.
Well,
Northeast. Sorry.
We lived in what could be considered Northeast.
We lived
not like very Northeast, but we lived in like the northeastern part of the country.
More Northeast than Northwest. North Central, if you really want to be technical, but that doesn't exist on the map.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We Northern Ohio, put it that way.
Northern Ohio.
We dealt with some snow growing up.
Haven't really seen as much snow as I remember as a kid. Now, part of that's probably because I was a lot shorter as a kid. But I remember 6 feet of snow at times.
Yeah, there was definitely that. I remember there was like 1 week where we just got constant snowfall and we had like 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like 4 feet tall and I stepped in the snow and it was like up to my neck. So,
and I know that's a really reductionist view of climate change. It's not global warming.
Yeah, most of what happens with the warming of the globe is in the ocean, so that's not really a good.
It's just a fun comparison.
It's not a good comparison, but it's January 25th, and like yesterday or 2 days ago it was like 60 degrees, which is not normal.
No, that's really alarming. Except for, I mean, to be perfectly fair, it's nice.
It's nice.
I like it, but it's not normal. It's not okay.
There's also a part of the Antarctic iceberg the size of Dakota that's about to break off into the ocean.
North Dakota, South Dakota, or just Dakota?
Just Dakota, both of them.
Both Dakotas?
Yeah.
Like all Dakota?
Yeah, all of Dakota.
Can they take the pipeline with them?
I don't think it's that far south, but there was an oil leak right by where DAPL was going through.
Yeah, and it really messed up a lot of water. And
the only good thing that I've seen come out of it is that a Trump supporter tweeted at Trump and was just like, you need to earn your second term. I voted for you. If you want a second term, earn it. There was just an oil leak right next to DAPL, and you're doing nothing about it.
He doesn't care. He's going to make money off of this. And if Donald Trump, I don't care how rich he wants to pretend to be, if he can make $16 on a transaction, he will do it. It doesn't matter if it kills thousands of people, he'll do it.
Speaking of killing thousands of people, I think that's another thing on this list.
Yeah, there's two things that are on this list that I guess you could be one really dark joke, and yeah, so President Trump signed in another executive order that allows the states to not pay their part of Obamacare, which...
That was the one that I was talking about.
Okay, good, because the other one was really terrible, and we'll go to that one next.
I actually saw a interesting... I think it was like New York Times that released an estimate.
Something interesting on the New York Times?
Yeah. It was like Bernie Sanders was wrong on his numbers for how many people would die because of the repeal of Obamacare. Bernie Sanders said like 37,000, 38,000, one of those two. They're like, no, it's actually 43,000.
Yeah, and then I think Bernie switched his numbers once he heard about that.
See, my thought was Bernie's probably being like... I hate to say this, but Bernie's being conservative.
Ooh, hurts my soul to hear that. But yeah, so what this executive order does is it allows the states to just kind of opt out.
What we need to do, all right, we need to write letters. Everyone out here who's listening to this, all two of you. I'm being ambitious, but I think we're gonna gain another listener.
Not
right?
if we keep going off topic like this.
Look, write a letter to every Republican congressman around you and just be like, hey, if you vote to defund Obamacare, the lives of 43,000 people are going to end, and their blood will be on your hands.
I think...
You like Jesus? Don't murder.
I mean, this executive order, what it does, and I'm going to try to get through this one, so bear with me, is it allows the states to opt out of funding Obamacare. The part of the Affordable Care Act that they are required to pay into from their tax revenue is no longer a big deal. Now, you can still opt to do it, which a great progressive person might do, but if you remember, it's like all but 4 of the levels of government at the states are Republican now, so good luck.
I was really, like, I leaned up to the microphone just to be like, wrong, but what you just said was right.
Yeah, it's not going to happen from anybody. I mean, the Democrats are just Republicans who are hiding, so...
They're Republicans who don't like to be associated with the Tea Party.
Yeah, that's basically it. Everybody is corporatist. The government's fucked. We've got 2 years to fix it. And we'll talk about that in another video. That's foreshadowing for you kids.
Wait, are you referencing a specific future event or just a overarching plot line?
Either? Both? I don't know how to do that. Now that's creating mystery, so that you'll stay tuned with us, friends.
For the next X years.
Until...
How many years is X? No one knows, except for us.
We don't know. False. Wrong. Another executive order he signed in was the illegalization of funding abortions abroad. Now, for the longest time, I guess you could say about 8 years, when the government was nice and just mildly corporatist.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 8 years and 2 days.
8 years, 2 days-ish, yeah. The government was giving money to other countries to help fund, clinics that at times performed abortions.
See, that's. I think even the way you're representing that is bad, because there's a specific law under Roe v. Wade, that says no federal funding can go to abortions. So it's not that they're funding clinics that do abortions. They're funding clinics, and then those clinics also offer abortions.
I don't know if this... I know what you're talking about. It's not exclusively a part of Roe v. Wade. It's something that was written into a bunch of bills
in reaction to Roe v. Wade.
And I think that might just deal with domestic things. But we were sending money to places to promote women's health care, and it only took...
Yeah, breast cancer's a bitch.
Yeah, it only took 4 days for us to just say, fuck you, women. Like, we don't want to help you guys out, especially if you don't live in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, like, Trump will grab your pussy, but that's about it.
Now, I'm fairly isolationist. I think that the role of the government is to help the people and help the society that are within our borders. I agree with a lot.
I agree with everything you just said, but I would consider myself a bit more globalist.
Yeah, see, I'm very, very far isolationist, as more than most progressives.
It actually, though, doesn't take much to be more globalist than you.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't, because I would really like to get our stuff fixed and then go help other people.
I absolutely would too.
But I think that sometimes we worry far too much about what's going on in other places. But at the same time, I think that if we can help people, as human beings, we should help people. And there are a lot of things that the government was doing that were great overseas to help people. And now instead of, funding women's health care, we're just going to drop more bombs on more places and let Israel run amok. That's a different thing.
But yeah, speaking of fixing our stuff first.
Hey, we've got 3 more executive orders that we need to go through. Let's stay on topic. It's right there, I know.
But I'm just like, take a break, man. Take a break.
Foreshadowing, kids. We're
Kids.
doing it. So
today, children, you're going to learn about foreshadowing.
Couple easy executive orders to talk about. Trump's no longer hiring government officials except for impositions of national security. This affects a lot of people.
Okay, so, yeah, I have a very personal message for Trump here. Fuck yourself. Like, seriously, you're really not going to let NASA hire anyone else? NASA has announced they're not even going to be, like, hiring... They're, like, cutting back, like, interns that they're hiring from colleges to do, like, co-ops and stuff. Like...
This affects public safety. Do you know how many air traffic controllers are hired every year? This one, I have a friend that got to the last step of his interview process to be an air traffic controller, and now doesn't know if his future career can ever happen because of the timing of Donald Trump's freeze and the way that they normally cycle through air traffic control applicants. You are not just affecting the way the government spends money. You are ruining people's lives, even Republicans' lives that just want to get a good job in air traffic control service or at NASA in government places. They're not going to hire secretaries at,
But, Morgan.
Yeah. That'd be, your fiance.
That's, 17 minutes, 37 seconds if we need to cut out names.
I mean, it's not a last name.
So my fiance, she had applied, she's a computer science major, applied for an internship at NASA because she needs to do one internship before she can graduate.
That can't happen now.
She got an email saying that the branch of NASA that she applied to cannot hire interns anymore because Trump did a hiring freeze.
Well, they don't want any part of anybody but the rich's lives to go well. That's obvious. We can talk about he signed in some immigration reform today, which is basically just going to make if somebody here is convicted of a crime that isn't here legally, their home country is required by U.S. law to take them back. That hasn't been the case before. He's going to start deporting people that are here illegally, even if they haven't committed any other crimes. And
I have a classmate who said she has a friend who immigrated from Syria at 4 years old, and now she's being deported. She's a student at UCLA, just being deported because she immigrated when she was too young to remember it.
Yeah, these are things that are gonna happen. And the wall. We're back on the wall. At one point, it was a dual layer fence, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was right after Trump was elected.
When he was trying to be popular again.
Yeah, Trump realized, hey, this whole wall thing, that's going to be super expensive. So he was like, well, it'll be a short wall. And then he's like, oh, that'll be super expensive too. He's like, a double layer fence.
But then he realized he could do whatever he wanted, so it's a wall again.
Yep, it's a wall now. How high is this wall? Did he release anything about that?
He's not going to talk about specifics of the wall because he doesn't...
All right, here's what's going to happen. They're going to start construction of a wall. 4 years from now, someone else is going to be elected. And they're going to be like, fuck, we're not doing a wall.
Yeah, it will take more than 4 years to get the wall going. It will cost billions of dollars that Donald Trump won't get. There are Democrats and Republicans in the Senate pushing against this now. And he's going to get part of the wall.
Here's a little interesting fact for you. I don't know if you knew this or not. There have been studies recently showing that more illegal immigrants are leaving the country than coming in.
So if the wall's going to do anything, it's going to keep illegal immigrants in the United States, which might actually be his thing because he employs a lot of illegal immigrants at his hotels.
Yeah, a lot of rehiring. Now's the time to, start applying to Trump hotels if that's what you want to get into, because like half his workforce is about to be deported.
No, he's not going to deport his workforce. That's not going to happen. If they work at Trump hotels. Oh, yeah, because his businesses are now in a blind trust.
A blind trust.
You can't see the rolling of my eyes in the air quotations that I'm about to make.
Yeah, a blind trust. Yeah, I can't see Eric. I don't have any pictures of him on my phone. I put a bag on his head when he walks in. So,
so
look,
I don't see Eric and Don Jr. So
I don't blame them. They're ugly ass people, but
no, that's not nice. That's true, but it's not nice.
Did anyone say I was nice?
It's true. We are not nice.
I'm not nice.
Are you ready for credit where it's due, Mr. Trump?
Oh yeah. I mean, okay. So
President Trump, credit where it's due. You did one good thing in your sea of bullshit.
Trump, you did it good.
Like one good, singular.
A singular, solitary good.
It's important to note that it's only one thing that he's done well, because I'm about to gush about one thing Donald Trump did. Donald Trump signed an executive order that made it so the United States can't join the TPP. Yay!
Officially. However, all right, there's a good and a bad to this. A good that this was a major campaign promise. Progressives were like, yeah, fucking do it. And he did it. And now he's talking about renegotiating NAFTA and all that. Mexico is actually now saying that they're going to withdraw from NAFTA before Trump can renegotiate it.
That's sweet because they don't want to pay for the wall.
Yeah. So.
Well, if they're going to withdraw from NAFTA, that probably means that.
I don't know how much stuff we import from Canada because it's not drugs. Call back to a previous episode.
Also, fuck you, Cory Booker.
Yeah, fuck you, Cory Booker.
You will never be president.
I'm going to make this a thing. I will occasionally just do special message for Cory Booker. Fuck yourself.
Can we put out just 12-second long videos of us just saying fuck you, Cory Booker, and just leave it at that?
I see no reason why we couldn't.
Well, let's do it.
There
you go. You guys are going to get a daily fuck you, Cory Booker. Maybe
not daily.
Oh, I'm making you upload it daily because you're the one that uploads, and I'm the one that writes the content. Apparently,
I mean, I wrote.
You wrote last week.
I wrote last week.
The last 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
Is it really the last 2 weeks?
No, it was the last 1 week, and we loaded 2 in one day.
Yeah, we don't really have a plan for uploads. We just kind of do it when we can.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do probably at least one a week.
Unless life happens.
All right.
We're not gonna backload.
So yeah, Trump did it good. As I was saying, though, he's going to renegotiate NAFTA. At least he says so. And I don't buy it.
That might... If he did, though, that would bring jobs back to America.
It would. And he said he's going to be the best jobs president that...
which is scary.
Insert your deity here ever created.
That science ever created? I guess that kind of works.
Don't say science is your deity. People are gonna fucking quote mine that shit.
And there you go. I am no longer allowed to ever run for public office. You're gonna need to cut that part. What was it? 2405 or so?
I'm not cutting it. I'm not cutting it. Just redact it right now.
Redacted. Science is not a deity. It was a joke. Come on, guys.
All right. So, here's what I think is gonna happen. TPP is gone, right?
Yeah.
Not coming back. What could come back?
Trump PP? Didn't even mean that. That's great. Can we get the Donald Trump golden trade plan?
No, I was going to be like the TTD, Trump trade deal, as Kyle Kulinski's been calling it.
Yeah, Trump trade deal. Just a renegotiation of the TPP with one or two key things changed, like
And the cover letter is just a giant golden T.
Isn't every time I've ever seen his name, it was written in gold.
It's a giant golden T every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
even at Trump Tower in Chicago, that I took a picture of myself flipping off.
There's a big scary thought to be had that Donald Trump is going to back out of these trade deals and renegotiate them worse, highlight a few things that he did quote unquote better, and be like, well, I'm a jobs creator. Okay, I'm the best. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it.
And the language of this. No, he doesn't know the word language. What am I talking about?
Words.
The words. The best words.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and all the other executive orders he signed have, obvious influence over the country, but I figured those are probably the biggest and the most hurtful.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk. They've been overshadowed by those what? Six.
Did we even talk about all 6? Yeah, we talked about all 6. You want to talk about Kellyanne Conway and how much of a just total asshat she is?
Oh, she is not a smart person.
She's not.
She might be a less smart person than Trump even, and that's an achievement.
I hope that she writes that on her gravestone. I was dumber than Trump.
A less smart person than Trump.
I think she was on CNN, or NBC. She was on NBC doing an interview, which the interview was supposed to be about policy, but it was basically defining the term alternative facts, which is now a thing that you need to worry about. You need to learn facts, and then you need to caution yourself against alternative facts, which is a cute way of saying lies.
All right, you want me to do the full story on this?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so on, I want to say Saturday. I think it was Saturday that Sean Spicer went out.
Yeah, Sean Spicer's an asshole too.
So Sean Spicer went out, White House press secretary, for those of you who don't keep a close eye on this stuff. And he said, what I'm guessing happened was behind the scenes, Trump was like, people are saying that my crowd was so small. My crowd wasn't small. My crowd was big. Go tell him, Sean.
Trust me, you don't have to worry about crowd size.
There's no problem in that department, if you know what I mean. But
he's got to have the smallest penis. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, why do you think his T's are so big?
Go ahead with the story.
And he went out and it's like, the media has been saying, like, oh, the crowd size was so small. Like, this person tweeted, oh, the crowd size was so small. This was the biggest crowd to ever witness a presidential inauguration, period.
Wrong.
Well, that is just accurate that was wrong. I said that was accurate, and then I realized that might be misconstrued. That is, in fact, wrong. It's not even close. It's not even the biggest audience to, like, watch online, biggest audience to watch on TV, biggest audience to watch in person. None of those metrics.
Biggest audience combined. I mean, literally, it was just a complete and total failure on the part of the Trump transition and inauguration team. The protests about the inauguration were bigger than the inauguration, and the only thing that I could think he's saying, well, this is the biggest inauguration, everybody was watching it, would be he's counting the protest numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, he's counting the numbers of the Women's March that happened the day after to protest Trump. Anyway, moving on in the story. The next day, Kellyanne Conway was on, I want to say, Meet the Press.
Hey, Kellyanne Conway. Go fuck yourself. Sorry, we need to make that a thing, too.
Yeah. Hey, Kellyanne. Fuck you.
So, Kellyanne Conway goes on Meet the Press.
And they were grilling her.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, hey, why did the press secretary go out for the first time and utter a falsehood were the words they used. I'm just going to change that to tell a lie.
Or just bullshit.
And, yeah. Bullshit artist. But Kellyanne's just like, well, no, they didn't lie. It wasn't a falsehood. Sean was just telling you alternative facts.
Facts that are not the real facts. There's lots of facts in the world. There are facts, and then there are alternative facts. You know, a good way that I like to think about this? Human beings were designed after abiogenesis by the natural process of evolution. Right? We came about through evolution. That's a fact. You know what an alternative fact is? God did it. That's an alternative fact. You have facts, and then you have lies.
Yeah. And I just also, interesting point, Washington Post reported today.
Yeah.
I heard of this and I was just reminded. Sales of Orwell's 1984 skyrocket because of Kellyanne Conway's alternative facts.
That is so perfect.
So appropriate, yeah. The publisher can't keep up anymore because of the sheer number of orders.
First off, why don't you already own 1984?
Because I borrowed it from a library.
Okay, fair. I sometimes forget about libraries with my propensity to buy every book that I ever read.
Yeah, I mean, books are nice. I like books.
You also like money and don't have enough of it to just throw around everywhere. We get that.
Yeah.
We get that. And it's not going to get better with Trump and the corporatists. Sorry. I'm mad. So Kellyanne Conway talks about alternative facts and how you can't call the president out on telling lies because he's just using a different set of facts than the real ones. She gets called out on national television about this, which thank you people at Meet the Press for just being good reporters.
It's Chuck Todd specifically.
Okay, thank you Chuck Todd for being a good reporter in this instance.
Yeah.
And after Chuck Todd calls her out on her bullshit, she goes, well, if you're going to be nasty to me, then maybe I just won't come on your show anymore, and you won't have press access, and NBC will get shut down.
Which is,
the grossest violation of free speech that I've heard Trump do yet, and that's saying something.
Yeah, there's a lot of cornerstones to democracy, like what you need in order to be considered a democracy. One of those is free press, and Trump's going for that one first. Next is free speech. That'd be my guess, but
I mean, there are bad news organizations. There's Fox. I'm not a fan of CNN or NBC. Sometimes they do good work. Most of the time, they just pander. But there are good news organizations.
Trump congratulated Fox on being the highest ratings for his inauguration.
Well, obviously, Fox is going to be the highest ratings for Trump's inauguration. The people that voted for Trump inherently watch Fox. But think of the good news organizations. Think of the TYT Network family, for example, or the Humanist Report, the David Pakman Show, which...
NPR.
Well,
which also got defunded.
Yeah.
And so did PBS.
Mm-hmm. So please donate to these organizations because they're not going to get federal funding if you...
See, I wasn't just going to pimp out TYT every chance.
No, that's why I went to David Pakman and the Humanist Report because those aren't TYT. Even though, I'd suck TYT's dick.
Okay.
Throwing it out there. They're the best.
Hey, sirens. Can you hear that, guys?
Okay, sirens at 33:25 and my stupid dick comment at about 33:22. So
no, your dick comment's staying in.
Sure, but when...
So is the part where I say your dick comment's staying in.
That's fine. Put that on the first t-shirt.
I'd suck TYT's dick.
I would wear that. But, no, I mean...
We'll make one... And it will just be for you, and we'll just have an arrow be like, this guy.
I'll wear it.
But well,
I've got no shame. But places like those, they're going to get shut out of media reports. They're going to have to get their information secondhand, which they've got enough great reporters. Together, they might be able to do it, but they're not going to get seats at the White House press... what is like the press
conference?
Press room, or... the press wing or something.
Well, it might not be at the White House anymore.
Yeah, it might just be in New York,
Well, they were talking about, like, not doing it very often. It's like, oh, it's just because we're looking at finding a bigger venue so more people can come. I'm like, more of your supporters so they can applaud. People don't normally applaud.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of applause in
like
White House press briefings.
Press conferences, even before he was in the White House, people were applauding, and that's because he's patting the front rows.
We're not using
with his supporters. People don't normally applaud at press briefings and conferences.
Yeah,
that's not a normal thing.
And it's really scary. Switch gears and talk about some good things?
Let's talk about some good things.
Okay. So, Tom Price, who is going to be in charge of healthcare policy in the Trump administration.
Was he confirmed?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Because after he was confirmed, he was like, you know what we shouldn't do? To fund Medicare.
Hey!
So, I don't think Trump thought that was a thing that was going to happen. I think this is probably really surprising, and he's kind of pissed off right now. But
I'm sure.
The guy that's
I'm sure he's like, can I fire the head of healthcare? Can I fire the vice president? I don't like him anymore.
Mike Pence is going to get fired. We can talk about that some other time. But he obviously isn't the only one that can defund Medicare, but he's got a lot of sway. And so that's a decent sign.
Yeah.
Moving forward, there is...
he can't single-handedly prevent it, but he can
He's got sway.
He's got sway.
There's organizing for a scientist march on Washington, which isn't something that I ever thought I'd see. But
I did as soon as Trump got elected.
There's going to be protests of scientists in Washington, trying to get Trump's attention that he needs to listen to regular facts and not alternative facts.
Real, actual facts, factual facts. I want to know like how many like professors and stuff are going to go to that.
Oh, it's going to be a lot.
I've got like if any of my professors are going to that, because I know I'm going to start a student organization next year.
Are you?
Yes, I am. It's going to be a robot student organization. I don't know if you remember this from back when you were in robotics. There's groups called Robot in 3 Days.
Yeah, I remember
I'm going to start one of those.
Sweet. It's going to be fun. Yeah, for the listeners, Colin is too intelligent. It's not fair.
That's what they say.
It's not,
I don't believe them.
It's really not fair how just technically intelligent this dude is.
I like Gears.
He seemed Gears and Wires and shit, man. Put that on a t-shirt.
Gears and Wires and shit?
Yep. Yeah,
before I changed all my YouTube stuff to Bearded Bards stuff, it was it was like a picture taken at a specific angle of a wiring project I did, and it was just wires going everywhere because it was absolutely chaotic. It looked like wire spaghetti.
Wire spaghetti.
Yes.
Okay.
Of various colors.
Moving forward, do you want to talk about the proposal?
Which proposal?
The blueprint.
Oh my god, I love this.
Because you're really happy about the blueprint.
I really fucking love this.
I'm going to step away for a minute while Kellen talks about this because I am not going to ever be able to get as hype as he will about this one thing.
All right, so a bunch of Democratic congressmen and women got together a plan using Donald Trump's own number, $1 trillion, to just provide like $200 billion there, $200 billion there, $100 billion there to rebuild the infrastructure. That's not nearly enough money, mind you. It's going to take like $3 trillion to get our infrastructure up to where it should be. But they took a number that he said during the primaries and during the campaign, $1 trillion. Like, all right, here's a plan. It'll create 14 million jobs. And they called it the Our Plan to Trump blueprint.
Our challenge to Trump.
Our challenge to Trump blueprint to 14 million jobs. And it's just spending trillions of dollars over the next 10 years just on infrastructure, which is sorely needed. And I think of that every day when I drive home down Bancroft Street and there's potholes everywhere.
And I mean, it's not just for street paving.
It's not. It's for street
street repair. Bridge repair.
Bridge repair. Jeez, my words are just...
New train and subway transportation.
Schools.
Research into technology that will help with infrastructure. All sorts of just really, really great progressive things that...
Important stuff.
That Bernie would have fought for. that progressives would have fought for.
Bernie is fighting for. But he just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have the power that he could have had.
41. 41. That number is going to haunt me.
41?
Yeah, 41 Democratic senators.
Oh, yes.
And one of them's Cory Booker.
So 40.
He actually, should count as -1, so, 39. But
Can't tell. We don't like Cory Booker.
Not a big fan. And if you couldn't
sell out.
And if you couldn't tell from our previous podcast,
have we done a Cory Booker yet?
No, we should.
Hey, Cory Booker, fuck you.
But if you couldn't tell from the previous podcast, which if you haven't watched, you should watch. Shameless plug. We're not really big fans of people that pretend to be progressive, like Obama.
Cory Booker.
Obama.
Hillary Clinton.
Did we say Obama? Not huge on him. He talked a good big game. He talked bigly. Huge.
Bigly. It was huge. It was gonna be huge. He was gonna be so progressive. It would make your head spin.
Okay. And then last thing that I wanted to talk about before we wrap up, Congress. If you know me, you know that I'm gonna be really excited about this. Congress is pushing against Betsy DeVos.
I don't think you're as excited about this as I am.
No. You don't understand. If there was a devil, that lady would be the devil. And if there was a hell, I would only ever wish very few people to go there, and she would be on the list for what she's going to try to do to America's education system. I'm just trying to be subdued.
I don't get it. Trump wants to make America great again.
He doesn't.
And so he thinks the first step of that is making the future generations dumber?
No, he does not want to make America great again. He would like to
make America give him money?
Yeah, he would like to gain money and
I guarantee you at some point after he was elected, he's like, so I can take money from the treasury, right?
Yeah, the president is allowed in Fort Knox, I believe. Not many people are. I'm pretty sure the president could get in.
I would imagine the president could get in.
He is going to try to walk into Fort Knox and walk out with things. He's going to take a shopping cart to Fort Knox.
Sir, you just decreased the value of the dollar by 15 cents.
That's fantastic. This is huge.
I'm going to melt this down, get it real thin flakes, cover my desk with it.
You don't understand. In 4 years, when the next president takes over, and they're
going to have to repaint.
There will not be 8 years. He's going to have to melt down the desk in the Oval Office and give it back to America.
Yeah.
Because that whole place is going to be gold. Do you think Donald Trump's not going to put a golden toilet in the White House?
I guarantee you he already has.
There's a golden toilet in the White House. You're just never going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
Because if he's not sitting and shitting on pure gold, then what is he really doing as the president of the United States? In his mind.
In his mind. In our minds, it's if he's shitting on pure gold. Why? Just why? Jimmy Carter. I just heard this a couple days ago. Jimmy Carter was forced to give up his peanut farm before they let him take office. Fucking peanut farm.
That's so cute.
And Trump was able to keep his multi-million-dollar company.
They're in a blind trust with his two sons and all the people that he's ever worked with before.
I'm sure Jimmy Carter would set up a blind trust with Jim down the street.
Here's I'm not super if the president...
Jimmy Carter's low-key a great president.
Yeah, and everybody just shits on him. We should do an episode about Jimmy Carter and why you should love him. But that's so cute that they made him give up the peanut farm. The president can be well...
I can do a whole episode on why you should love Jimmy Carter right now. One reason, really big reason, never fired a shot. Go on.
I'm impressed. But, if an incoming president had a farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even a for-profit farm, and they wanted to keep the farm because they enjoyed the farm, I'd be cool with it, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
it's a farm.
It's not like
you're making millions of dollars. It's not like China is going to buy out all of your produce.
Yeah, it's not like the policy
The
that you
man
can set up is
had
going to make you extremely rich off of your peanut farm.
The man had a peanut farm, and they took that from him, and he was okay with it.
Because he was the fucking president.
Because he then became the fucking president of the United States.
It's supposed to be a sacrifice. It's not supposed to gain you capital.
Yeah, I don't know what Trump expected, but it wasn't this.
Oh, and he either looks fake happy or scared all the time. And poor Melania, by the way, if you can edit in different still, you should put in the still right now of after Donald Trump turned around from Melania and she just looked like the most scared person in the world.
I love the video. Like during his inauguration, like when he first showed up, I saw something. It was like 2 videos right next to each other. Obama getting out of the limo and Trump getting out of the limo. Obama waits for Michelle to walk around the limo. Trump just gets out of the limo and walks straight up the stairs. Melania is like walking around.
I'm going to I'm gonna hold
proof right there that Obama's a better person.
I'm gonna hold you to this because if I say it in the show, you're gonna feel like you need to. There's gonna be a link in the description below to that video. Go fuck yourself.
It was like a Twitter post.
There's gonna be a link to that tweet. No, we'll be able to find the video. We'll find it together.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Anyway, you can probably cut the last about 10 minutes of this because it was just us rambling and hanging out.
All right. I think that's all. Is that all?
On the new stuff about Trump, that's about all we got. I like that we kept this one a little bit shorter.
Yep. Only 47 minutes 47. By the time we're all done.
Yeah. Thank all 2 of you for listening. It's been fun.
Yep. It's been real.
And just please remember.
You wanna like social media or anything?
Yeah, but you're running them, so you should.
Or we have a Candid page. If you know what Candid, it's an anonymous discussion app. The Bearded Bards.
We both have Twitters that maybe we'll link in the description. Not that we tweet very often, but you could, follow us.
You'll see me retweeting Bernie stuff. So
yeah, I been tweeting the Justice Democrat stuff.
Mine is @BeardedColin _ in between.
And I don't know mine, so I'm gonna link it in the description.
All right. Well,
I should probably know that if I'm gonna hype it.
We'll figure it out.
All right. You guys, thank you very much for listening, and have a good night.
In the words of people who are soon not going to be able to walk into the country, adios. Hey everyone, recording the episode now, but we had a weird audio glitch and the end got cut off. So, thanks for watching. Links in the description. Video mysteriously taken off of YouTube. Say what you will. Conspiracy, tinfoil hat, and all that. Have a good day.